was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. The sound of silence. I've been obviously totally silent about this. Me. Different part of me. Hello, darkness! Those shadows. My old friends. The darkness and those shadows can be really, really, really heavy. And really heavy. So, right now, I'm doing this video in part as a reading and just a sharing of some wisdoms, and also sharing me, and also maybe having some humorous kind of things, because to get through these darknesses, and I just had an outburst to myself, just anger exploded out of nowhere because one of the animals started to bother me, and I'm like, ah! And it's been very tense. And this darkness, this Mercury Retrograde, shadows, I just want to briefly talk about that, because shadows aren't necessarily bad. All right? This is a shadow. It's a shadow of mine. This is something that I guess I toyed with the idea probably when I was very, very little. But how I grew up and how a lot of people grew up is it was just shot down. And I don't know exactly what this all means. I can't even say like, oh, I identify as a dude. It feels fitting. It looks good. If I do say so myself. So anyways, shadows, that was a shadow of mine. And I finally, after 42 fucking years on this planet, have I now been working on just playing around with it and seeing more of this cool stuff that I have inside that I've kept hidden forever because of other people. And, you know, throughout life, like I've had relationships and you've had relationships. Everybody has. That's what life is, relationships, right? And it's relationships with other people that really teach us so much more about ourselves. And this isn't necessarily like a direct thing, like, oh yeah, they're instructing us and they're teaching us and this. It's not like that. It's their influence and the things that they do trigger these internal cycles. And if you look back on your life, you can see these cycles of your own behavior when you're with, didn't matter who. And the cycles you start to recognize inside your own mind, because really every single relationship only teaches you more about yourself, right? Usually what you don't want. But hey, that's how we learn. We signed up for this human experience. Don't get me wrong, some of this stuff fucking sucks, and it's madness, and you break down and you know nothing. It feels like literal hell. But when you get those realizations, those awakenings to your own truth, you start to move through and you feel stronger, you feel empowered, and you have choices in how you go about doing this. Because you can watch different people throughout your life and you see bitterness and anger and sadness. And you also see happiness and joy and peacefulness and lightness. That's Xenocat. So you have a choice through all of these experiences. What do you want to choose to become? And don't get me wrong, there's all the traumas and all the pains in life can absolutely drive a person to want to just be this vicious, angry being and just destroy everything. And go ahead and do that. Destroy those illusions that people have put on you. Because when you come to your core, you're going to find light. The light of the fucking Creator, man. And to reach that, you got free will. Make your choices. Be that morning star. Let's combine it all and tell the truth. Most people, I'm very much a truth teller. I gotta take this hat off because it's really, really, really hot. So I am a truth teller. I have a sword of truth, and I call it a sword of truth because a motherfucker cuts. And throughout my life, I've used that sword many times, and I still use that sword. I'm learning, trying to learn to be a little bit, as tactful as I possibly can. But there's something inside of myself, it seems just driven just to blast it out. And you know what? Let the cards fall where they may. So, it's just a truth. And things are not as they've been taught by the Christian church. And all these realizations and all these things I've been really pondering and doing research and, research on documentaries and also going to spirit because that's where all the answers are. But it's really cool to see these other things. So it's just lighting up that light. That's my whole point. Is that morning star. Light up that light. And actually Venus becomes the morning star tomorrow. Venus is still in retrograde till the end of this month, the 29th. So it's still a mishmash of shit, and now we just have Mercury Retrograde coming in. And this one has some good powers. It's, again, all meant to drive us inside, but damn. We're on a fast track, and you're on a fast track. If you've been feeling a lot of depression, if you've been feeling a lot of just anger at literally nothing, and anything can set you off, or people have been blasting shit at you, if people blast shit at you, it's peace, man. Because there is no argument. There's nothing to argue over. I guarantee that. And when you feel this anger, it can really explode. I just experienced it myself. I've been engaged in this since the Mercury, I think, shadow period began. It's almost like, and really driving up with all those things, I have this warrior spirit, and that's been really fully engaged because I have a lot to do, and I love doing my life with the Raise the Vibe Fair, Magic Hands Reiki, shifting things at Angels of Awen. It's been a madhouse of just all kinds of cool things and connecting with people, which is amazing. But the anger has slowly become more and more and more. And like, I'm ready to do battle. I'm doing battle with life right now. Battling my way through the energies and manifesting and working with all these things coming in. The personal triggers and traumas, also processing that at the same time, of course. As growing these tremendous businesses and trying to figure it all out. I love these times because it can be totally, I almost want to say catastrophic, but catastrophic in the way that it's chaotic. And so when those towers crash, we have an explosion of creation right afterwards, because usually this energy, it's feeling like it pushes you inside and it explodes you in anger. But when do you usually make choices? When you're frustrated and you're tired of your own shit. Tired of some other kind of shit. That's when you make the changes. So as hard as this can be to go through, there's different tricks you can use in your brain. And engage your warrior spirit. You are a warrior. You're here. You're fighting in your life for life itself. And it's not mean you're duking it out or anything. You duke it out with the inner demons. Those are the biggest fights. The inner demons of confusion. See, I just had one right there. Look at that. That was just a joke. I did not have one pop through there. Although that does happen. You know, we have all these almost like I would say minor demons in a way, but they're still battles. They're mental battles, emotional battles. Our emotions are wonderful clues as to what's going on inside. And instead of fighting them, if we're angry, sit in the anger and see what's coming up. Start writing or something. Channel that anger into a creative force. Channel that anger into changing your life. So you stop feeling powerless, because that's what that anger triggers. When my animal came through earlier, it was actually my puppy Muskie Bait. And I feel really bad for yelling at her, because I got angry. And I wasn't able to turn it, because I was trying to actually make a first video to this. I was doing really good, in this great mood, and all of a sudden she's like, blah, 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 I gotta go outside. And I'm like, can't you just wait? But then the energy shifted, and I was like, so frustrated. Now I feel bad that I yelled at her, because she is my little protege she's my soulmate, she's my hero in life. But I'm going to take this opportunity with that trigger, because I don't want to do that to her or anybody else around me that I love, or even anybody that I hate for that matter. And I'd like to see why I felt powerless in that moment. And I know that this comes from, even just self-examining right there, this comes from years and years back when you don't have your voice, childhood. And, you don't have your voice, your parents tell you who and what you are and everything, and especially myself, I experienced a lot of trauma trying to figure out, I came in this female body, and I can't necessarily say that I identify as a male. I identify right smack dab in between with both spirits. I love being in this female body. It's enjoyable. It's just strange because I do a lot of very manly things and very, I don't know, manly, if I guess that would be the word, but very masculine and very, this warrior spirit, but that's also very female. And I'm learning that a bit more in this lifetime. I'll play with both sides because, hey, why not? I can finally express myself, and I've reached the age that the fucks have flown away in so many ways, and I frankly don't care what other people think about this, because I am choosing this, and it feels fucking good. Something different. When you see the truth, you know what to do. Well, the shares my owl shirt's wise. It's sharing that wisdom. So if you're still watching at this point, which I hope you are, because I honestly never know what I'm going to say. I have like a minuscule plan when I start these videos. Like, I'm going to play this part of this song, and then I'm going to talk about Mercury Retrograde and shadows. Ta-da! It's been really rough lately, I won't lie. I've been really struggling myself, and I would love to do my best. I'm try to get videos out, try to get different posts out, because I know that people need it, man. And I'm brave enough, and I'm loud enough, and I guess I got the gifts of all the wild experiences of life to break through all of these layers in order to reach these points, which suck going through sometimes at the times, actually a lot of times. But it's okay. I know that this is what I'm meant to do, at least a part of it. And if I can share my own truth, and I'm working on that really hard too, because there's a lot of vulnerable times when I'm scared to make videos, and that's when I know that I should make that video and need to make that video and share that video, because I know that's going to help people. That's what I'm here for. And to shine this light as much as I possibly fucking can to help inspire and help encourage others out there to shine your light and find your courage to live your best life, whatever the fuck that looks like. And yeah, I do love that word, fuck. And you know what? I can use it because I can. That's a fucking good word, too. So I guess that's all I have to say for today on this bit of a reading. It's really, really, really heavy, and raising your vibe is so important. So important, maintaining that light. Watch some stupid ass cat videos on YouTube. Something. There's so much darkness out there, and there's so much fear, and the dark beings and entities and things are feeding on that, which causes more and more oppression. So stay in your light. If you need help, please reach out. I offer Reiki services. I offer shamanic services. I have various readings. I think I have one listed. Consultations and coaching are coming extremely soon, because there's just a certain way to work with things, and I got a lot of information and wisdom to share from this lifetime and also a lot of other lifetimes. And I'm created to help, created to serve, and created to be here to do whatever the fuck I guess I do. So just a bit promo here, magichandsreiki.com/services to book a service. Find me on Facebook, on Instagram, Magic Hands Reiki. I'm everywhere there. Raise the Vibe Fair. I got to talk about this a little bit. March 27th, 2022 at Holiday Inn in Stevens Point, 10 to 5. And there's going to be 35 plus vendors there. It's going to be a big affair. It's really fun. We are literally raising the vibrations. It's a great time. And we have the most amazing vendors there. And then, of course, there's going to be gallery readings and drum circle, probably some paranormal talk, some other classes and workshops. I'm not quite sure what's all coming up yet. But that'll be posted also. Raise the Vibe Fair. Facebook and Instagram also. The website you'll have to find from there, because it's a different thing. It's on angelsofawin.com/Raise the Vibe Fair. So I hope to see you soon. Watch the Facebook page especially, because that's where I'm going to be posting more events coming up here for some really cool classes. I got a whole list, and it's just a matter of the download, and here we go. So there is a Sacred Goddess Women's Circle on the new moon, the new moon coming up. It's actually going to be February 1st at 6 p.m., and that's led by Liz Kaluski, and that's going to be a really great time. There's going to be a cacao ceremony and everything, so I truly love you all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until we meet again.